Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the May 2020 sneak peek number 3 that we received like 3 hours ago. By the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow and progress well on your gameplay of Marvel Future Fight, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so that you won't miss anything. Okay, now let's go through the sneak peek number 3 together. Okay, many heroes have appeared to stand against the space war. Members of a prominent space corps are here to lend their strength. Protectors of the universe join the fight. Okay, so this picture is a bit small, so let me enlarge it so that you can see it clearly. Okay guys, looks like we are going to get the character that we expected long time ago, which is Richard Rider version of Nova. And this girl should be Phyla-Vell if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not very familiar with this character. And if you see it clearly that there is actually a pair of gun next to Phyla-Vell, which I think it should be referring to Star-Lord's gun. So that means we can expect that there might be a new uniform for Star-Lord from this update. Speaking of Nova, keep in mind that there are actually two different versions of Nova. First of all, we have the Richard Rider version, who was the first human Nova that we may be getting from this update. And then we have the Sam Alexander version, who is the latest Nova that replaced Richard Rider. And the Nova we have in the game right now is actually Sam Alexander version. So my guess is there might be a new uniform from this update for Sam Alexander, or it might be a completely different new Nova that we are going to get, which is Richard Rider version, or possibly it is the Richard Rider uniform for this Sam Alexander. However, I personally prefer it is a completely different version of Nova, which is Richard Rider. There are actually few possible ways of getting Richard Rider Nova version as a completely new character. First of all, we might be getting Richard Rider through the epic quest like how we get Doctor Strange or Deadpool, where you have to finish all the required story mission in order to get Richard Rider at his tier 2 and level 60. Secondly, we might be able to get Richard Rider like how we get Doctor Doom or Strife, where you have to get a certain number of characters to tier 2 in order to unlock Richard Rider. Thirdly, he might be a paywall character which you can only get him through the monthly biometric subscription like how we get Lunar Snow or Ghost Panther. Last but not least, we might be able to get Richard Rider like how we get Mystic or Sabretooth, in which you can only get Richard Rider from the store by using Crystal to purchase him and rank him up. So there's actually many ways of getting Richard Rider as a new character, just depends on how Netmarble is going to introduce him. However, if Richard Rider uniform is created for Sam Alexander, I believe it would be very difficult for players to actually get Nova Sam Alexander to tier 2. That's because up to the date, there's only 3 ways I know where you can get Nova biometrics. First of all, you can grind Nova's bio through the Shield Lab processor, which is this one. Let me show you. Okay, so out of 10 tries, none of the Nova's bios. So as you can see, the RNG is just very low. So don't expect much from this Shield Lab processor. Maybe out of 20 you can get 1 Nova bios or even none. Secondly, you can purchase Nova bios from the Shield Labs mission shop. Normally it costs gold or it costs crystal, but the available amount of Nova bios is normally in between 3 to 5 bios, if I'm not mistaken, so which is not a lot. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so this is where you can get Nova's bios. Thirdly, it is where you have to pay real money in order to get Nova's bios from the store. Okay, so now it seems like the sales is not available. So as you can see, Nova's bios on sales is not that frequent, but of course I do not recommend you to buy his bios from the store because it costs real money. Therefore, the truth is, yeah, it is very hard to grind his bios in this game. As you can see, my Nova is still at tier 1 level 60, while all of his gear are just remain at 15. And the funny thing is that I only have about 60 of his bios after playing this game for like more than 2 years. So I think you know how hard it is to grind his BIOS. By the way, I'm having a Mega Tier 2 advancement ticket from my inventory, so I can actually Tier 2 him instantly. If Sam Alexander is going to get his new uniform, so I will just get him to Tier 2 by using the Tier 2 Mega advancement ticket. But we will see how it goes. Besides that, I think it is not a bad idea if Noah gets his tier 3 in this update because he is a universal type of character and we don't have many tier 3 universal characters, so this might be the best time to actually introduce his tier 3 instead of bringing another tier 3 blast character like Star-Lord or possibly Adam Warlock, because there is too many tier 3 blast characters in the game right now and most of them are very good, so we don't need that. We need tier 3 universal characters and that's what we need the most. Okay, so that's all about Nova. Let's continue with the sneak peek. Okay, it is great to have these heroes with their vast knowledge of space on our side. We should search more for heroes to help us in the future. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you. Okay, so based on this picture or this sneak peek is actually just part of a big picture. So we can expect that there is another or one more sneak peek that is about to join the party. Okay guys, speaking of Noah, which version of Noah do you like the most? Richard Rider or Sam Alexander? You prefer a completely new character, Richard Rider as Noah, or you would just like to see a new uniform for the existing Noah that we have in the game right now? So please do let me know in the comment box below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and thank you for watching.